All right, that says we're cooking. If you're seeing this live or anytime shortly after I did it, good morning, everyone, from Denver. For those of you that are already out and about in the Denver area today, the fog is crazy. I'm still looking out the office window, stunned because we don't get that kind of weather, for lack of a better term here. So I'm kind of enthralled with it. But I digress. Our blog post is up. It went out via email. It looks like that actually went flawlessly. I know that that isn't what goes on 100% of the time around here, but it is an enormous list of people that subscribe to that blog. So if you guys want to subscribe, feel free. You can do that on our website. And if you just want to drop an email and say, hey, sign me up, then I'll absolutely make sure that you're getting it. But this one's really interesting. And I know you guys, we really do try to stay focused on things that are for the greater good of our audience and not necessarily things that are mortgage related. That's a fairly boring subject unless you happen to be in the throes of getting a loan, buying a home, refinancing a home right now. Then that content really isn't all that interesting. And we do spend a lot of time circumnavigating content when it comes to the real estate space in general. And we, excuse me, talk to a lot of real estate agents, obviously, not just in a transactional sense, although we do that too, but when we're looking for good content that might be of benefit to you guys. And this week's blog, we do it twice a month. So this every other week's blog is actually relevant to that when it comes to selling a home. And selling a home right now, at least in our market, I'm going to assume it's relatively similar in other major metropolitan areas. It's unique. It's been very interesting. A lot of price reductions, a lot of below asking, a lot of seller concessions. In fact, we have a client closing today where appraisal came in below contract price. They lowered it. Plus, they're giving like 17 grand in concessions. I mean, it's a significant upside for the buyer. So to be in a market where you're a seller, and of course, it is still a seller's market by definition, we're still having an inventory shortage. Although, after doing this for so long, I think it's time that we move that bar, that we change that definition of what defines a seller's market versus a buyer's market, because this is the most buyer friendly market I've probably seen since shortly after the Great Recession. So, like 09, 2010, somewhere in that range. So, good 15 plus years. This is the best time I've seen it to be the buyer. So, as a seller, our blog talks about how to put some strategy to use. And we do talk about a few things to avoid as well. The first one on our list are photos and virtual tours when you're listing a property. And I have a colleague who does the most amazing drone tours. Like, they will actually go into the house, open the doors, open the windows, remove some of the screens so that these drones can actually fly through the house. I'm out on the deck, I'm back in the kitchen, I'm out on the front porch, I'm up in a second story bedroom. It's one of the coolest things I've seen. And yes, we still see where there are people just taking cell phone pictures of the property that they're trying to sell. So that's number one, really good photo and video activity. Okay, the second one is the price. Now, this is a big one, and we talk all the time with colleagues about how there are really only two things you control as a seller: price and condition. And you can't change the location. You can't pick up the house and move it to another location because, well, I have a house in, well, for those of you that are local, you'll get this reference. I have a house in Aurora, but I want to move it into Cherry Hills so that it'll get more money. And if that were possible, you'd absolutely get more money for it. But we don't control the location. We only control the price and condition. And I can't believe how many overpriced properties I'm still seeing. They're lingering on the market. Sellers are reluctant to drop their prices. Getting it priced right is a very big deal. Please talk to a good agent about this kind of stuff. Home staging, absolutely in support of that. Um, I'm an anomaly where I like to look at a house I'm going to buy empty. And I know I'm in the minority, and all of the agents out there watching this, right? Oh no, you don't want to see it empty. And I know the vast majority of the consumers want to see it staged either in real time or virtually. And virtual staging is getting to be really cool stuff. It's sometimes hard to tell, even from my perspective, when I see a lot of listings. I still struggle a little bit to tell if the really good virtual staging is virtual. Okay. Marketing. And again, along with photos, videos, those drone videos that I mentioned, the types of marketing that go on, the ability to identify where potential buyers are in social media, in geolocation, in website SEO, in doing, I know we don't like the Z word, the Zillow Premier listings or whatever that term is that they use. These are also very big deals when it comes to getting properties sold right now. So make sure you ask your agent about those. Number 5, open houses and neighborhood tours. Most of you know how I feel about open houses and that we don't really do them or need them to sell houses. I do have an enormous amount of support for agents doing them when it comes to other purposes, lead generation purposes, adding to your audience, building your contact database purposes. But there are still reasons to do open houses and neighborhood tours if you're doing them effectively. All right. And then networking type stuff. Gosh, I've been a member of 2 different realtor boards in the Denver area. In fact, that's all that exists now. The South Metro Denver Realtor Association and the Denver Metro Association of Realtors. And I don't know what goes on as of late. I don't really participate on this level anymore versus when I was in leadership. But every week, yesteryear, every week they would do new listing announcements, and every agent that had a new listing since the previous week's meeting would get up and present this new listing to nobody but other agents. Really cool stuff. There are probably still things going on like that, but it is a big deal. Print media and direct mail. Yeah, that's a weird one. We talked to somebody who suggested that that be done still with 55 plus communities. There are still people that appreciate and actually pay attention to their snail mail. Again, different strokes for different folks, depending on how you do your marketing, depending on who your audience is, depending on what your content is, then that may very well be relevant. But as a home seller, know what moves the needle before you go to market. And most importantly, talk to a good agent. There are still a bunch of them out there. There are some of them out there. It's been an interesting few years, and I know there were some stats where more than 70 or 75% of the agents didn't close a single transaction last year. That's a big number, and it is less than 1% that really have the knowledge base, the skill set, the ability to do all of these things in a manner that's going to help you get a house sold. So please make sure you're seeking out that expert advice. And that's it. I obviously ran really long as these videos go these days, but it is a really cool blog post. Thank you so much for everybody who contributed to the content, and we will see you guys next time.